Rock, I heard all the screaming when I came to the stadium this morning. I thought it was the Roch Kubatko concert, and it's
like they're trying to draw fans here, not chase them away.
Rock, you're looking at this situation now with the Orioles. They have so many guys on the IL. You're getting some people back. It's just weird that you still have, like, what, 6 or 7 on it. You're getting guys back. But who returns first, Cowser or Westburg?
You've been peeking in my mailbag, haven't you? See if I have an answer for that. It wasn't long ago I would have guaranteed you Westburg, and I think that's still the case, but we're talking hamstring injury versus fractured thumb. Of course you go hamstring will heal quicker, but Westburg did experience a setback last week. He was supposed to work out a few days with Norfolk and then appeared a couple games and then rejoined the Orioles. But there's still some soreness in the hamstring, so that shut him down. That ended the running progression for now. We did see him take his glove onto the field earlier today, so I guess he played a little catch, but that's not running. Cowser, meanwhile, with a fractured thumb, which happened that first series in Toronto. We have not talked to him since then. But he doesn't have a brace on it. Every once in a while it's wrapped, then it isn't, and it's wrapped again. And he's doing very light activities in the outfield, very light. So I'm thinking, you know, ideally sometime in June you can get him back. He's going to have to be able to swing a bat, hit in the cage, hit off a tee first, face hitters or face pitching, go in a rehab assignment. It's going to still be a while. So I think Westburg beats him, but I thought it was going to be by a wide margin, and it's tightened a little bit.
If I would have asked you that question a week ago, you'd laugh. Like,
yeah, I would have said, of course. And those are two very important guys in this lineup.
Oh, yes, very important. Now, Mountcastle is starting to hit at first base, and we know what kind of glove he brings. O'Hearn looks good as the DH. What is the Orioles' plans for Coby Mayo?
Yeah, I know what wasn't the plan, and that was to have him up on May 3rd, but that was because of Ramon Arias' injury with the hamstring. So they brought him up and then optioned him on May 9th. He went 1 for 12 with 6 strikeouts, had 2 errors in 1 game. The problem here, they really want to be able to do it ideally their way, where you wait longer, get him where he's really hot at the plate. You know, working a lot at third and first base. He started first again today, game 1 with Norfolk. And then you bring him up when there's a spot. You can keep him there, and you hope that he hits. But an injury, as Michael Elias reminded us, can change that plan completely, and that's what happened. So this ended up being more of a temporary thing for him. And again, 1 for 12, 6 strikeouts is not going to keep you here. So they did not want to have to shuttle him again, and yet here we were. So the plan, again, is to keep him down there until they really do have a spot. However that happens, if that's trade deadline time or earlier or later, whatever, where they can keep him here and give him regular playing time. And have him keep working at third and first base and hope that he's not forced up here again temporarily because of an injury, and then you shuttle him back again. You don't want this kid going back and forth.
Once upon a time, my first question about Cowser and Westburg would have been ridiculous. Once upon a time, the next question would have been ridiculous as well. Will the Orioles be sellers at the trade deadline?
Oh, I thought it was going to be his lasagna casserole. That's a whole different mailbag question. They will be, I would think, if they aren't in contention at the deadline. And we still have time left. And there was speculation, I think it was in The Athletic in April, about are they going to be sellers? I'm like, well, why don't we get at least into June? But yeah, if they are still struggling like this and below 500, in last place, whatever, they have to consider that. Now, I don't think it's going to be the great purge of 2000 under Sid Thrift. All right, I don't think Miguel Felix is walking through that door, or Juan Figueroa, or guys like that, Jose Leon. Am I bringing back any memories at all? Mark
painful ones. Yes.
I don't think it would be that, but clearly you'd have to look at guys, Cedric Mullins, pending free agent. Zach Eflin, Sugano, Tomoyuki Sugano could be. I mean, he's a 1-year deal. So guys like that potentially could end up being available. We'll see. But I would think you would have to be looking at seller if this team is continuing where they are right now. They have time to change that. I don't think it's a big roster purge, a huge turnover, but you got to look at some guys, especially on these 1-year contracts, and say, look, if we can get some useful pieces back, especially young players, prospects, you got to do it. And I didn't think we'd be talking about that either.
No, and I don't even want to talk about it that much more. I get asked this question all the time, especially on radio. What about this team? Are they still have good spirits? And my thinking is always, they're not winning. It's tough to be rah-rah and celebratory when you're not winning. Other than that, I don't see much changes in the personality of this baseball team. I don't know about you.
No, I mean, the clubhouse is going to be quiet after a loss. You're not going to have music going. You're not going to have those strobe lights going. There's not going to be a lot of chatter.
And if you did, I'd have a problem with that.
Yes, exactly. You don't want guys sitting back, laughing, joking around when you're going through this stretch. But there's also no sign of where they're like, there's no dissension.
Right.
There aren't any fist fights. Now, I will say there aren't a lot of guys in there pregame, as you know.
Right.
You know, there are areas off limits to the media. But what we see, and certainly post-game, they seem fine, at least on the surface. They're saying all the right things, and they're very supportive of each other, of Brandon Hyde. They still believe when they look at the talent on this roster, they say, we're better than this, and we're going to be better. But clearly there's going to be some frustration. There should be. They're angry at the way they're playing right now. They're disappointed. And, you know, they're finding different ways to lose. And with yesterday, you've got leads in both games, and you don't lock it down. So, yes, guys are not taking it lightly, but they're not punching holes in the wall either.
Thank you very much. Roch, thank you very much, my friend.